assess whether we are primarily in our feminine or primarily in our masculine, I think it's important to make some distinctions of what is feminine and what is masculine. So I'm using the process that's used by Tony Robbins in terms of understanding masculine and feminine energy. So I'm going to follow that. And what I would like you to do as you're listening is to take note of whether you feel more identified with the feminine version or the masculine version of the scenarios that I'm giving you, okay? I also want to frame this in a way that just because you're in the masculine in certain areas doesn't mean that you are primarily always operating in the masculine. We all, to a point, have some feminine and have some masculine. And it's just important to understand in which areas are we playing more in the feminine and more in the masculine. That's all we want to do. So there's no right or wrong answer. So just really sit with this and be authentic and gentle and open and honest with yourself in your reflection. And this is just to understand where you're at. And the more honest you are in your assessment, the more you will be able to tailor and craft and be able to channel your energies in different ways if you need to after this process. Okay, so in terms of physical characteristics and energy, so the feminine would be characterized by open, free, flowing, full of life energies. Sometimes would be more nurturing, sometimes more wild and free. So feminine energy is fast moving, it's flowing, and it's like the ocean, okay? Masculine energy is strong physical presence, centeredness, okay, so a stillness about it, centeredness, rigidity, and a feeling of unwavering purpose or strength. So a lot of people like to talk about the masculine energy like it's the sun holding the strength and the presence, and the feminine energy is the planets moving around, a free-flowing movement, okay? So think about where you feel you fit in there. So the next category is primary driving force. Okay, so feminine essence is moved primarily by emotions in intimate relationships. So that's why a lot of times we are more emotive and we speak from emotions. A lot of times we start a sentence with, well, I feel that, okay? So the feminine force is about opening to love and giving love. So that's, maybe you can relate to that. Now the masculine essence is primarily driven by direction in life or by a mission. Okay, so one is about love and nurturing, and the other one is about purpose and mission. Okay, not right or wrong, just different. So let's just understand where you sit in there. Then the next category is focus. So feminine is flow. Okay, so interruption does not exist because we are in a constant state of flow. Okay, so and our focus is that we are looking for love and the ultimate way to magnify radiance and beauty. Okay, in terms of the masculine for focus is focus on one mode only at a time and the single task at hand. And what they're looking for is looking for trouble. So they see problems and want to fix it even when there aren't problems there. So an example of this, if you've ever noticed, sometimes you can tell your partner, you can vent to your partner and they just want to provide you solution. Whereas the woman is actually not seeking an answer. She just wants to feel heard. She just wants to be acknowledged. And so that's the difference in terms of focus. And the other kind of example I can use is women tend to multitask. You know, we can flow from one activity to another. Like I'm often like doing laundry and working and doing something else. Like I have many tabs open in my life and it doesn't feel like chaos to me because it feels like flow. Whereas my partner is much more like, I need to get this done right now. It needs to get done right now. It's this thing, I'm obsessed with this thing. So you can see how there could be conflict in, let's say you're trying to do something together and the woman is in flow mode and she wants to move from one thing to another and the man is like, you know, with a purpose. Shopping is another example. The guy wants to get in, get out. The woman is like, let me look over here, and oh, this is on sale. Look at these Christmas ornaments. Do you know what I mean? So just looking at in terms of your focus, are you like focus on one thing, here's my target, I'm gonna go, or are you more flowy and you have many moving targets? So that's the best way I can explain it there. Okay, now goals. Okay, so the feminine energy is based on attraction and enchantment, drawing others in through the opening of the heart to beauty and love. So the feminine wants to fill up with love, energy, and attention. The feminine force is about opening to love and giving love. Okay, so the masculine energy seeks to release from the burdens of life and relationship, from the constraints of life. So the masculine strives to break free to ultimate ecstasy and freedom. So they want to empty and let go. Okay, this is a really important distinction as well, because this actually even matches our anatomy. Okay, so as we said, the feminine wants to fill up with love, energy, and tension. We want to fill up. The man wants to release. Does that make sense? Like, it's even in our anatomy. Like, we want to fill up with love. A man just wants to be released of the stress. So it's a very different energy. They are polar opposites. It's what we're talking about, the polarization. And it's these polarizations that make us sexually attracted to each other. That is why men are attracted to women. It is when we are in that feminine state that they are attracted, because it's complete opposites. Well, when they say opposites attract, that's what we're talking about there. So just like have a reflect on whether you are more feminine in terms of your goals or more masculine. Okay, desires. This is a cool one. So in the feminine, desires, a feminine woman desires to be noticed and feel attractive. Okay, so this is not vanity, this is part of the feminine essence. So it lives in the world of sensation, the body, connection to the flow of elements and natural forces. Okay, so it's all about our desires are around connections. So we are addicted to ways of filling her senses of emptiness. Addicted to ways of filling her sense of emptiness and wants to feel understood. So our core desire here is, I want to feel understood. Whereas the masculine energy, it responds to challenge. It comes alive at the edge and when challenged. So loves competition, to test themselves and break through barriers, wants to possess. So loves competition, to test themselves and break through barriers. Okay, sorry, I already said that. And they are addicted to emptying himself and releasing himself into the void. Wants to feel appreciated. Again, how we were talking about the anatomy. So addicted, so the feminine wants to fill her sense of emptiness. Like, this is not coincidence, guys. Wants to fill her sense of emptiness. So think about that anatomy in terms of sexuality. And then the man is addicted to releasing his void, like releasing into the void, okay? But when it comes to the core desires from an emotional standpoint, the woman wants to feel understood, the man wants to feel appreciated. So the woman doesn't need you to solve her problems. Stop trying to solve her problems. She doesn't want you to solve her problems. She just wants to feel heard. The man wants to feel appreciated. If you want to emasculate a man, criticize him. Yet we do it all the time because we are not aware of the importance of polarity in relationship. We don't understand like how, you know, a masculine man will feel completely emasculated when you criticize him for something that is so small, and even in ways that you don't even feel like you're criticizing him. You're giving him feedback, you're giving him suggestion, you're being a problem solver, i.e. you're being in your masculine, and you will emasculate a masculine male. So that's an important distinction as well. So think about where your desires sit. Okay, and then challenges. So the feminine, we hang on to everything. We often stay too long in relationships and other things. And we hear primarily mood and tone, okay? Whereas the masculine finds it very easy to let go and leave. They often leave too soon, and they speak words versus emotion. So you'll notice this actually in relationships where the woman is holding on and the man's like ready to let go. The woman is holding on to something that may not even be working, and the man is like ready to let go like 5 months ago. So think about where you fit in those areas, and why we'll be covering why it's so important to understand those energies and where we're playing in those energies, especially in terms of intimate relationships.